Thank you, and good morning, everyone. I'm very happy to be here today with WRI and WBCSD. These are two organizations that Dupont has been a part of, WBCSD, since its beginning. Our former chairman and CEO was one of the original members of the WBCSD board, and as Manish said, we've been long involved with WRI. They both have a wonderful tradition of bringing together industry and the NGO community and trying to figure out solutions to problems, solutions that everybody can derive benefit from. And Manish, when you were speaking, I was thinking I've been involved in the environmental area starting at EPA in 1983, and at that time there was no such thing as industry sitting down and talking cooperatively with environmentalists and really even with government. That was during the time of the fall of EPA. The leadership was leaving in disgrace. Jonathan Lash, the former head, wrote a remarkable book called A Season of Spoils about it. And I was thinking as you were talking how far we've really come. An area is controversial globally as climate change, and yet you see a remarkable engagement by industry to try to figure out how we are going to collectively reduce and address this very serious environmental imperative. So we are all maturing, the NGOs that they're willing to talk to business, and those of us in business that really see ourselves playing a role in solutions. DuPont began its sustainability journey really about 20 years ago. We were focused at the time very much on our own footprint, our own energy use, our own emission reductions, and trying to make ourselves better. As a part of that process, we were one of the road testers of the Scope 1 and Scope 2 protocols. We continued to use those in our greenhouse gas reporting. They have served us well. They have helped us derive many efficiencies and actually a lot of value to the shareholder as we have reduced our use of energy over time. Today, our sustainability efforts are really much, although we continue to focus a lot on our footprint, and as a company of our size and in the sectors that we're in, we do have a big footprint, so that'll never leave us. But what we're really finding around sustainability is it's much more market-driven, and that we see by working closely with our value chain partners, upstream and downstream, we can really derive growth for our shareholders. As many of you might know, we have identified three major areas or megatrends that we want to focus our growth in. So societal megatrends that we think DuPont's science and innovation can actually move the needle in terms of helping the world. Those are improving the efficiency of agriculture to feed the world, reducing global dependence on fossil fuels, and the third, protecting people and the environment through our technologies. So we're really taking a hard look, not just at what we do to the environment, but also what our science and technology can bring to make the value chain more sustainable and have a less impact on the environment. So to do that, we have to work hard with our suppliers and our customers. And that value chain perspective is where both of these reporting standards are headed, and we think they're going to help us a lot going forward. Creating standards, we have found, is a very important step in this discussion or dialogue with our value chain, because it creates a common language and a common way that we can measure and talk to each other about our impact. We're finding the demand for this kind of information to be very strong in the marketplace. And in fact, when I was talking to the reporter yesterday, the New York Times reporter, I was saying that she asked me, has the recession had an impact on people's demand for this kind of information or for your more sustainable offerings? And the answer was, although DuPont, like every other company, experienced an economic softening, well, then we got a lot better, and now who knows where we're headed. But we have really seen a continued interest in products that make our customers more sustainable. In our case, products that allow the farmers to produce their crops with less inputs or less environmental impact, for our materials businesses, products for the automobile industry that contribute to their lightweighting, and some of our electronic industry products that will make the electronics that you and I buy more energy efficient. We saw no decrease in that. We saw no stepping back from the interest in sustainability. Quite honestly, I have to say I was a little surprised, and pleasantly so. But if anything, in 2000, coming out of the recession, we really saw an increase in demand for this kind of product. So no economic impact to our commitment towards more sustainable solutions. DuPont's a very diverse company. You could tell from just some of the industries I was talking about a minute ago. We have hundreds of thousands of products. They go into a wide variety of end uses, from solar panels to automobiles to paint, where you all have heard of DuPont before, and to food ingredients. We recently acquired Danisco, a Danish food ingredient company, which will expand our markets even more. So assessing our key products from a life cycle perspective has given us a lot of insights. It's actually giving us new ideas for new product offerings to help, again, our customers reduce their footprint. For DuPont, going through the process of road testing the product life cycle accounting standard allowed one of our business, our TiO2 or titanium dioxide business, to take a product, which is a multi-purpose white pigment, which ends up in paper and paints and plastics and all sorts of things. They road tested it. They road tested it with a customer who then wanted to take it and road test it with their customers, which really excited us a lot. We find that data availability and quality are going to be key issues. So the standard we're announcing today we see as a critical first step, and it's probably going to jumpstart an evolution and a development as more and more people use this and try to figure out how to improve it. But data quality and data availability are going to be keys that we'll all be wrestling with as we go forward. Users are still going to need to apply their own interpretation to many aspects of the guidelines, which means they might, even though there's going to be a demand to use these standards to allow product comparison, that's probably going to be difficult. But what it will do is allow companies to see where their biggest emission point, or the point that they can make a difference in their processes, and focus on that. Again, as I said, we think that these standards will evolve over time. How we use them will evolve. The reporter asked me, so when will DuPont make a commitment to use a standard against all of its products? And as she asked the question, I was thinking, when will DuPont know how many products it actually has that we can apply this to? So I think our challenge is TiO2 made sense. What are the right products and value chains that using this standard is going to have a measurable impact, and the knowledge will be of value either to us as we try to figure out how to deal with other emissions, or to our customers as they want to, and suppliers actually as they want to look at how to deal with their emissions. So I think as we get experience with it, as we use it and think about it, it will become more and more valuable to all of us. We are committed to continuing to work with organizations around standards. Many of you in the industry that are in the room know how challenging it is between working with all the rating agencies and all the customer surveys to try to keep up with how many different ways can you measure your product. These standards become important so that we can set in motion the information gathering systems that can satisfy a number of different uses. So we see the need for these standards to continue. So DuPont's very excited about being a participant, both in the road test process and working with WBCSD and WRI. We really do find tremendous business excitement. And I'm talking about people at DuPont who've never really thought about the environment or sustainability as a big part of their mission. What they really are seeing is the intersection of innovation and sustainability as a way to create growth and to differentiate DuPont and many of our products from some of our competitors. So we really see this intersection as the key to our growth in the future. We think protocols such as the ones that we're announcing today, the product life cycle one will help us in that conversation with our customers and with our value chain and to others who are trying to decide whether or not we are serious when we say we're committed to sustainable growth. So thank you. It's a pleasure to be here, and I look forward to engaging with you this morning.